Yes.
Did anyone instruct you to leak this information?
No.
Anyone suggest you leak it?
No.
Hint?
No.
Nudge, wink. Did anyone employ nonverbal means of any kind to suggest, in an explicit or implicit fashion, that you leak this information?
No, it was conceived and executed solely and completely on my own.
You tell anyone you were planning on leaking this?
No.
Discuss that you were considering doing so?
No.
Did you speculate to anyone that an individual might be inclined to contemplate making such a leak?
We're going to be here for quite a while, aren't we?
I need you to answer the question.
No, I didn't speak to anyone at any time of any scenario involving myself or someone else, thinking, planning, dreaming, or having an out-of-body experience related to the making of this sort of leak.
It's cute, the out-of-body thing, but I don't recommend it with the FBI or the Congressional Committee, the federal prosecutor, or any of the people who'll be following me.
That was lovely.
I have to call Zahavi.
I don't blame him for not wanting to go to Farad's funeral. Wish you didn't have to go. Isn't that what vice presidents are for?
No.
Then what good are they?
The two I've had, an enduring mystery. God, I'm exhausted.
You haven't forgotten that Ellie and Vic are coming by.
Oh, our daughter's getting engaged to the fruit fly guy.
He's a research scientist. Stop making him sound like something out of a horror film. Did you know that fruit flies reproduce at a prodigious rate?
Man, you've been whining about more grandchildren.
I meant that they're just more than usually enthusiastic.
All right.
In fact, they make bunnies look like dysfunctional prudes.
That's our daughter you're talking about.
Indeed.
Yeah. How about that?
Are you
A little. What about you?
astonished, actually?
Why? Did you and she never discuss it?
Oh, no, there's some things that are outside even the mother-daughter bond, at least for us. Did you and she?
We always adhered to a strict don't ask, don't tell policy. Clung to it, actually.
It is one's daughter and wants her to be happy in whatever.
Of course, true to herself.
There's nothing wrong with that inclination.
Nothing whatsoever.
But God herself may strike me dead. It is not to be denied that I am not unhappy that my daughter is straight after all.
At least straight enough to be marrying the fruit fly guy.
Someone in the Texas AG's office has obtained the complete medical records of 120 women who had abortions in 3 of the clinics there.
Please tell me one's not in Houston.
And in San Antonio.
The pretext is looking for unreported cases of sexual abuse and statutory rape.
But it's an obvious smokescreen.
We fooled with some language.
We're not commenting.
We have to.
This is a state matter.
From the congressman's home state.
I'm familiar with the bio, thanks.
It violates the spirit of Roe.
How important is Texas?
Pretty important.
No, not pretty important. With Phoenix Lock on California, this is the whole BOW.
Ball of wax.
Why wait into an issue that's not going to gain us any voters that weren't going to vote for us already?
Because all it costs us is people who aren't going to vote for us anyway.
We don't need those people to vote for us. We need them to stay home.
Single-issue pro-lifers don't like Finnick any more than us. Why energize them?
Let's let this particular sleeping dog lie.
Oh, that's crazy. We're Democrats. We have to come out strong for a woman's right to choose.
Ever had an abortion?
A little personal, don't you think?
Don't talk to me about what we have to do on this subject.
Whatever you say.
I was thinking while you were asleep.
I wasn't asleep.
Oh, really? With the drooling, the twitching, and the muttering to yourself, which might otherwise be described as schizophrenic episode, I go with you were sleeping.
Okay.
The campaign is stagnating because the poll numbers are.
Doldrums, horse latitudes. It's still mid-August. Wind will pick up.
You and I need to be a stiff wind that blows through the staff and carries a bunch away.
Way to stick with a meteorological metaphor. Still, it's a little hysterical.
This group isn't cutting it.
We're fine.
Last week, the advance team went to Springfield, Illinois for an event in Springfield, Missouri.
Every campaign has a few bumps.
We need more experienced hands. Look around you. We're a little heavy on the wide-eyed and dewy.
We got a young staff. Guess what? We're Democrats.
Well, Vinny's got grown-ups. We're running a children's crusade.
It got a virtual unknown, the Democratic presidential nomination.
Well, now it's got him consistently tracking 9 points down, which is, I believe, a loss and not a small one.
We start firing people, it's gonna look like the campaign's in trouble.
The campaign is in trouble. It looked like we noticed. First past the staff list.
That's a lot of names.
Anyone you want to fight for?
Ned?
He's not built for this.
He's been with the congressman forever. Santos will never let me can it.
That's why he's got to go, to kill morale if you fire all these people and keep him.
So we don't fire anyone.
I'll keep it whistle past the graveyard, but it'll be your future gets buried when you preside over 49-state wipeout.
Can't leave before the boss leaves. You? Time and assassinations wait for no one. Pithy. Thinking of putting out a line of twisted samplers. When's your turn? With the committee? Supposedly Friday, but if they spend all day on you. Really looking forward to things getting back to normal around here.
Did you have any private conversations with the president regarding the existence of a military shuttle?
No.
Participate in any group discussions on that subject that included the president?
No.
Did you have any internal White House conversations with anyone at any time about the United States possessing a classified military space shuttle?
Yes.
With whom? Who'd you talk about it with, Toby?
C.J. Craig.
Frost thinks.
I know what Frost thinks about everything. If it rains on a picnic, Frost thinks Al-Qaeda seeded the clouds.
Why do you keep him in the job?
He's a good analyst. Good analysts spend a lot of time being wrong.
Funny, at Defense Intelligence, we like our guys to be right. Different strokes.
Are there Islamic extremists who dream of a new China to Spain caliphate? Sure.
Do we think they're going to start by assassinating the Palestinian chairman and the president of Kazakhstan? I mean, come on.
Margaret, will you call Leo for me?
When you spoke to Greg Brock of the New York Times, you were aware you were speaking on the record?
I'm the White House Communications Director. I have a rough understanding of the protocol involved when speaking with journalists.
So that would be a yes.
That would be an of course.
And your intention in conveying this information to Greg Brock was that it be published in his newspaper?
Yes.
You were aware this information was classified?
Excuse me?
Answer the question.
You're asking me if I knew that the military space shuttle was classified? One of the most closely held pieces of information I've experienced in my 7.5 years in the White House, which no one would so much as hint at, much less acknowledge, much less ever actually discuss. Which revelation of same caused a governmental security crisis, international consternation, and the launching of 3 separate investigations. You're asking me if I realized it was classified? Yeah, I had a vague inkling.
Were you personally authorized to have this information?
Alana Waterman, Mr. Babish. I'm Mr. Ziegler's attorney, and as such, I must inform counsel that my client will not be answering any further questions.
It's okay, thank you.
No, it's most certainly not okay, and you're not to say anything else.
You know, I'm really getting fed up to here with lawyers ordering me around.
Probably should have considered that before passing state secrets to New York Times reporters. Which brings up, did you leak to anyone other than Greg Brock?
Do not answer that.
No.
If I may have a word in private with my client?
I'll be right outside.
I really appreciate your concern, but I am taking full responsibility, and I am prepared and ready to face the consequences.
Well, that's very noble and very stupid.
Thank you.
You have to listen to me now. If you were truly the only one involved...
I was.
Well, then that's unfortunate, because it means you have no bigger fish to turn over to the prosecutor, which is what he and the Congress will be looking for. And obviously would have been the best and fastest way to make a deal.
I don't care about that.
Well, it's my job to. And we're not starting with a lot of bargaining chips, and we have less every time you open your mouth.
I'm not looking to cut a deal.
Oh, really? Well, because the last time I checked, the sentencing guidelines, even for somebody who's a first-time offender, were 63 to 78 months jail
63
time.
to 78. How do they come up with those numbers? Pick out of a hat, dartboard?
You have an obligation you're
Please
not
don't bring up my
considering here.
kids.
When you hire someone like me, you take on a responsibility to my reputation. If you decide you want to go down in some quasi-orgasmic blaze of self-pitying, self-destructive, self-aggrandizing, attempted glory, all anyone's going to say is, how did Alana Waterman, that smart, tough, savvy Washington infighter, let her client do something so crushingly boneheaded, chronic as to get himself 6 years in jail. Now you have a decision to make. If you want me to continue as your attorney, when the White House counsel re-enters the room, you either decline to answer any further questions, or you watch me walk not only out of this room, but off the case.
Who was it who first informed you of the existence of a classified military space shuttle?
I decline to answer on the advice of counsel.
Please wait here.
Well, you certainly earned your fee today.
I'm deeply gratified that you decided to heed my guidance.
No, I just meant it was the first time tonight he used the word please.
If you gentlemen are done for the night, you should probably go home.
Excuse me?
CJ, catch me up.
Commander Harper's been entertaining us. Well, given the hour, I'm not sure entertaining is the right word, with her theory on this assassination in Kazakhstan.
Mr. Secretary, through no fault of your own, your customary default acerbity, which some might characterize as snide, but which I never fail to find delightful, is perhaps not the right tone for my particular mood this particular evening. Now, would you catch me up?
Assassination's been a historic tactic of Russian security services. I feel there's reason to look in their direction.
The Russians and Kazakhs are allies.
Kazakhstan's been cozying up to Beijing.
They recently announced the establishment of a strategic partnership.
This is on top of the oil pipeline the Kazakhs have already agreed to build to China.
When they announced this alliance, they took pains to stress it wasn't directed against any third party.
Doth protesting perhaps a bit much.
You buying this?
We're catching her up.
Moscow's not thrilled with this budding relationship. Not only is it competitive with Russia's own oil interests, but it's emblematic of China's growing dominance in the region.
Who takes over in Kazakhstan with Isanov dead?
Constitutionally, Prime Minister Tarmov.
Who has ties that go back to Moscow from the USSR days.
It's Russia's interests that are most directly served by removing the sitting president.
What will the Chinese do?
That's the question.
Russia and China, eyeball to eyeball in Central Asia.
Over oil.
With 900 U.S. Marines stuck right in the middle.
Oh, God. This is so scary.
Congressman, you got a minute?
Yeah, sure.
What's she watching?
The latest Rob Zombie film.
She's been enjoying it. I guess.
You a big Rob Zombie fan?
I prefer his earlier, funnier movies. Lou and I have been discussing the staff.
What about him?
Making some changes.
Are you kidding me?
She's not talking to you.
The campaign's not hitting on all cylinders. Could be time for a mid-course correction.
How many people are you talking about?
About 45.
You can't be serious. You can't do that.
It's a lot of people.
It'll look like panic.
We can bring in more operatives with experience and savvy.
Have we been turning them away? I'm sorry you can't work for us. You have too much experience and savvy.
We need to make some changes.
Are we panicked?
No. Of course not.
Well, you're running this thing. It is a big layoff, and it's going to get noted in the press. But if you think it's needed...
I do. One of the people is Ned Carlson.
What?
I know he's been with you a long time. I'm sure he was a real asset in the congressional office.
You can't fire Ned.
But he is not cut out for this. The pace, thinking fast on your feet.
Send him back to the congressional office. And we will get him something in the administration once we're in.
Matt?
Anyone not getting the job done is gonna go.
Do you want to be the one to tell him?
You can take care of it.
Mrs. Santos.
That's as far as I got before his attorney intervened.
Do you feel you got the whole story?
Toby mentioned he discussed the existence of the military shuttle with you.
He did.
Did you direct him to leak the information?
I did not.
Urge it?
No.
Subtly hint?
Absolutely not. Why, did Toby give any indication that I had?
No. His account matches yours. It's important that everyone's stories are in sync.
They are. That's because it's the truth.
Have you discussed this with anyone since Mike and you last spoke?
No.
No comment on what's been going on in the Roosevelt room or Toby's office?
Of course not.
And others you've encountered will so testify?
Yes.
Spoken to anyone outside the building?
No.
And the White House phone logs will so confirm?
I placed a call to Leo McGarry.
For what purpose? For what purpose, CJ?
I didn't reach him.
But had you, was your intention to discuss the fact that Toby Ziegler was the White House leak?
I didn't reach him.
He and you should be very glad about that. What, if any, message did you leave?
I told Margaret not to leave any, that it wasn't anything important.
Were those your exact words?
I don't know. I may have said not to even mention that I called.
You have between now and tomorrow morning, when I imagine the first question will come about this, to consider whether you had a particular reason to phone Leo McGarry this evening, other than discussing courses of action in dealing with this news regarding Toby Ziegler, which might to outsiders appear like consideration of a cover-up. It's time to tell the president.
What will be the recommendation of the counsel's office?
Same as yours.
Congratulations.
I want to see that ring. Oh, it's lovely.
You don't think it's too big?
Oh, there's no such thing, dear.
Almost got you a rebate there.
I only wish I could have afforded an even bigger one.
Well, I want to hear all about the proposal. Tell me everything.
We went for a mountain bike ride to a secluded spot in Rock Creek Park. We did it there.
Oh.
I did it there.
Romantic.
Very. The two of us and my Secret Service detail.
When are you thinking about having the wedding?
As soon as possible.
We don't want to distract from the election, of course, but any time after that could work. A White House wedding at Christmas?
No, I don't think she wants that.
What?
To do it here.
What could be more
Oh,
wonderful?
no, undoubtedly. A White House wedding would be very beautiful and terribly romantic. But inevitably, it would be quite a bit of a spectacle. You know, and all of us, Ellie has been the one who shied away from the spotlight. Why don't you consider having the wedding after your father has left the office entirely?
Sure. Do you want to turn your back on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity?
Oh, fully, the wedding is the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
You would seriously consider not getting married in the White House?
Well, you could do something very private at the farm.
Where, at the moment, is the less